what an October, Keith. How
Oof.
nice is it outside?
Doesn't get much better than this.
No, it
Late
doesn't.
October, October 26th, and I think we're going to be hedging into the 70s
Yep.
today, maybe close to 80, for the weekend. So, yeah, enjoy it while we can. Yeah, this shapes up to be a beautiful day, a really good racing card on tap. 8 live races, fast and firm, 73 right now in lovely Laurel. First post up in 57 minutes. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I want to thank Dave Robin. He was here with you a couple days over the
Yes.
weekend and
Yes.
did a phenomenal job
He
as
did.
always. And I heard he tabbed a $900 early pick
He
four,
did.
picking up the pace for me. I've been a little sluggish with those plays, but it shows you how hard it's been. But, yeah, thanks to Dave. And I know you the other day gave out a strong pick 6 ticket, So,
did.
hey, we're seeing the ball.
We're
I like it.
trying. We're trying. Picks for the people
Uh-huh.
here.
Yes.
As you heard it from Keith Fusel here on Today at the Races, and let's kick things off
Yeah.
here on this nice, lovely October race day with this early pick 5. Of course, starts in this claiming 16,000 for the girls, which have never won 3, going 5.5 on the turf. Scratch the 4, 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
14, 15, 16 stays in. Keith, you go with the number 3 on top. This is Mystic Seaport for Linda Albert. Forest Boyce gets the call.
Yeah, the run of spread races kind of here too. When you're talking about these multi-race wagers, they're there. I mean, you look at this opener kicking off this early pick 5 with that low takeout. You're thinking, well, maybe at 9-5, Mystic Seaport. Yeah, I kind of defaulted into the 3. I had the 4 on top, but horse did not make it down. I think there were some traffic issues for that one. So hence another day. But you know what? Ride it while it's hot, I guess. Mystic Seaport's won
Go for
2
it.
in a row and some really improved figs. I'm a little suspect of that Colonial number, kind of a gaudy
Sure.
75. Avoided claim down there, then came back to win on the dirt. So she's showing versatility, some speed in this race with Boyce. Doesn't necessarily need the lead. You've got some quick ones to the outside in Princess Palmer, Lady Serenity wheeling right back. Going to ensure an honest flow here. I think she just tucks behind the speed, but she's got to be right. I'm not completely sold. That's why I think this 8-horse Go-Go Chanel at maybe a little bit of a price. Spooky Spice and even Ballyhooly can make that run. Here's Go-Go Chanel, the last 1/8 of a mile in this race. Thanks, guys. Going back on August the 18th. Really never a terrible threat, but showing willingness, running up into some traffic very late. You're going to see down towards the inside about moving in between horses in the white blinkers, the 11, thank you, and just checked up. So wasn't going to make a
Right
terrible
there.
impact. This one has run well fresh before. Again, I like the distance for Gogo Chanel, I like the freshening. I think we're going to get an okay price. Spooky Spice, the 2, your top selection. I think definitely warrants consideration. Now, jumping a condition, still eligible for the 2 in light, but the blinkers went back on last time out. A good finish, good post draw here for an inside-out trip if she needs it with Toledo.
You said it all I like about Spooky Spice, Keith, as you go 3, 8, 2,
Yeah.
5 in race number 1. Race number 2 kicks off that early pick 4. We had a nice little conversation about these vertical horizontal wagers that we have going on here for this. Listen, it's an 8-race card, but it packs a punch here, Keith.
Yeah, you gotta have a little coin on you, or got some friends that don't mind you lend you 100 here, or there, because you're gonna need it to kind of dig into these multi-race racers. They're tough, but I go 3 deep to get you started here in the second. 2, 5, and 6. Scratch to 3. Big Earn was going to be a user. We'll wait another day for him. Race 3 is spread with 4, 7, 10, 13. Race 4, 2 deep with the 4 Everett Song and the 6 Magic Michael. And wrap it up in the 5th. There, Callie with three runners. The 1, the 9, the 13. Pounding Music draws in. Cruz is going to go. Angel Cruz to the 2. Cupid's Dream. Forest Boyce, a little switcheroo here. I'm going to go with Pounding Music, who does draw in. So pay attention to that in race number 5 for a $36 early pick 4 ticket.
We're going to plug into that in a little bit for race number 5, but race number 2, as kicking off that early pick 4, is a maiden special weight, 7 furlongs on the dirt. Makes things a bit more interesting with these 2-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the number 2 on top. You have a stat on Jane Sibeli with her starters here.
Yeah, maybe a little edge count to a horse that's got some experience. 7/8 of a mile is a tough distance to get for a
Yes.
first-time starter, and these are 2-year-olds even. So We'll see. Tequila Terra, Sabelli, the last 3 years on the dirt, 6 for 16, 38%, 10 for 16 in the money. With the maiden's second career start. That's a good one. 349. The blinkers go on. We saw this kind of angle with Unveiled, who came back to run a big number, a 74. It's a win early family. It's a family that's been able to handle 7/8 to a mile. Take a little shot. Really, I think, had no chance after the trouble beginning on the turf October 1st, but I think this horse is going to come back, going to handle the dirt here today and be a major factor. Ticks down a little bit off that line, I believe, with the scratch of the 3.
You know, we talked about this race a little bit going wide. I just had this one off of my ticket, but then I'm kind of regretting it a little bit because you have the blinkers on. You have that gate work on October 18th, right after that run. I mean, what a great move. So there we have it. Tequila Terra, Jane Sabelli. You also have the number 5, Jay Rivers for Arnaud Delacour. Victor Carrasco gets the call, of course, on this one.
Yeah, lots of really good stats for Delacour. A little bit light with the 2-year-old firsters on the dirt overall the last couple years. 2 for 17, but 8 for 17 in the money. And looking at who this horse is keyed up with and worked with, Coringa, most recently, a good half up there. Working a little bit to keep up with that one. Did see that. That's my man Dale and Emma put me on to the Delacour barn. We can go watch all those videos. So if you can, go to YouTube and check those out. But the half brother ran a big number in debut, 74, came back, ran a 91. There's some talent within this family. The forward works the dirt, and I even watched another one further back, a half-mile work with a horse that ran just so-so on the turf. I think it's going to be poised and ready to go here at 7/8 of a mile. 2, 5, 6, 7. Red Fire with Lynch. What can you say? I'll let you talk about this one. The barn's always good with these horses.
I mean, the barn is great. Just doing the light recon. I always here's the thing. Cal Lynch 4 for 11 with his first time starters as a 2-year-old as of lately. So 5 for 11 in the money. That's all the argument. I feel like that's a bit of the argument that I need right there. Some decent works heading into this first effort. I see one gate work, but then a bunch of just solid 5/8 works going into that. So just taking a quick look at the breeding really quickly. Stradivarius, who is a famous horse over in Europe, but the Dam, taking a look at the Dam, she was a good second first time out with Al Stahl. She broke her maiden in her third race at Evangeline Downs, but taking a look at the half siblings, nothing about the half siblings really kind of pumps up. They've been at these upper echelon meets where they're going in their first or second time start. So this is where I think it fits with the Cal Lynch. It fits with where this one is being entered here today.
Yeah, Cal Lynch. I know you've got some good trainers. Delacour, Lynch, everybody in here.
It's hard.
Very, very capable trainers. A really good lineup. We'll talk about the 7 real quick. Venomous Vixen. This is out of an unraced mare, the first foal. This owner-trainer combo, a pretty good strike rate with the first-time starters. 6 for 21. Claudio's horse ran credible, caught up in a pretty good flow, just a little fade in debut, so maybe the proven speed in here. The 1, Tiz Vino, there's Bonicelli and Kenny Cox, ran against the right kind of debut freshen, and even you go to the outside. You've got a mile work following a good sharp 5/8. McMahon is good with this move. He hasn't been as potent with the 2-year-old firsters, but the barn's been live, and this jock-trainer combination has been live. So this is a race. If you could kind of hit the all button, I definitely would.
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah, if you start to pick 4 and you see a ton of money hanging a long way, if money comes in and just stays with the horse, maybe that's a little bit of a tell for you there. But this is a little bit of head scratcher. I'll take this shot with the 2 off that stat.
I like that, and I like the work leading up into that for Keith Fustel's top selection as he goes 5, 6, 7 with the rest of them in race number 2. Race number 3 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We just touched on this. Another really tough opener. I go for Keith. I told you on set or off camera earlier, but originally when I was doing my first draft for this ticket, I went 8 wide on this on the opener in race number 3, but I end up kind of whittling it down to 4, 7, 10, 3 single. I had to find a single somewhere, so I take a stab. Of course, Everett Song in great form that we saw from that last effort at Pimlico. Race number 5, I go 1, 4, 13. You go 1, 9, 13 in that race, I believe. In that starter optional, as we mentioned, Pounding Music, Forest Boys takes the call on that one, drawing in last minute. Race number 6, our Jackpot Super High 5. Senator Kelly, Bridge to Success is what I go with. We'll have a video spotlight on Senator Kelly pretty soon. Race number 7, 7, 9, 10. You and I both go with Hard Spawn Reason on top in that restricted allowance going a mile and an eighth. But the mile and an eighth makes that race super interesting, Keith. So you have to have some insurance underneath. Hard Spawn Reason, while very strong in that race, I don't think it's a dead giveaway. And then in race number 8, 3, 4, 8 in that maiden special weight, 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 2-year-old boys. You got to go with Regalo, but I also include Coringa and the number 8 Cakes Rags. That's a $43.20 ticket. Again, Keith and I mentioned, Keith, we talked about this earlier, just a couple minutes ago on the show. You just for today's ticket, small but mighty packs a punch. This is a ticket worth kind of going in with a friend on. I would say definitely.
And it's going to be the theme. It's been the theme. It's going to remain the theme. As long as these races, the entries keep pouring in like they have been, and just the competitive nature, it looks like every race. I mean, it's you've got to be willing to kind of take that shot and maybe dig a little bit deeper, because you're going to get rewarded. It only needs one. It takes one to take you a long time as well. So let's look at this third. A mile on the turf, maiden special weight, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. You've got Hurrying Home, who ran really big last time. Went into that pace and went pretty quick, was under a really strong ride probably midway on that final turn, but stayed around. I lean to the 4, Celicy, Michael Matz, the son of Blaine. Mare was good, one debut at a mile and an eighth at Gulfstream on the turf with a 79. And this is a barn recently with the 3-year-old first-time starters going long on the turf. 25% with an ROI, just about $5, $4.95. We'll call it $5. So we saw this trainer unleash a good 2-year-old the other day, right, in Parish Lane, who had all kinds of trouble but still surged to get up. So take a shot here with a live first out barn with these horses going long, especially as they go 3 and up. 13, Headline News draws in a good race, and in Maryland at Pimlico back in May. We see a little freshening there. Runs anything close to that 74 number. We'll have to get position early from this outer post. I think it might settle back a little bit further today.
Agreed.
And make a run into it. But, do we have any videos in this race?
Taking a look, we do not have any videos in this race, because you know what? You could have put a video on any of these horses in this race. So I can see why you didn't pick a video for that race. But you also go with the 10 and the 7 underneath. Just wanted to really touch on the scratches really quick.
Okay.
The scratch in the 3, 6, 8, 12, the AEs, 12, 14, 15, and 16, other than the number 13 Headline News. Is the 12, did the 12 get... The 12
I've got
the
the 12 scratch.
Great. Okay, just wanted to double check that.
I
heard from this. I was in the steward's office yesterday, and I heard that the 12 was going to stay in, but evidently not. There we go.
Okay.
A scratch in the 12, but you go with the number 10, Harbor Moon.
Yes.
A really nice game effort. Well, was it game effort with Mike Trombetta's Harbor Moon, Johan Rosado, just kind of a up there, it's kind of like, did this horse just miss at the wire? Did he hang around a little bit?
Got caught down inside, a slight hang, which you'll see some horses maybe get a little intimidated. That last little bit, they get in a little bit tight. This horse had run, was really moving well in hand around the final turn, then had to work out that trip. But third off of a break, this horse has every chance to move up even a little bit more. That's been a good angle for Mike Trumba. These horses coming off the longer break. You should throw a blanket. There was quite a few horses out of that race on October the 6th that are back here today. Interesting race 3. Let's see if this firster is ready to roll for Michael Matz in Barbosa.
Let's find out. A lot of ways to go with that race. I'm surprised we land similarly on this race. 4, 13, 10, 7 for Keith Fuselin. Race number 3. Race number 4 starts at the late pick 5 and is an allowance optional claiming 55, going 8 mile and 16th on the dirt. Let's go ahead and talk about Magic Michael from that last effort out. Comes with the same horses from that last field that we see in the races today for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, and I think we can go ahead and throw the video up as well, because we're going to be
great.
talking about Everett Song, Outlier. Magic Michael was also in this race. I probably should have shown the start, but he did hop a little bit. He was coming off of a long break and was hung wide every step of the way. But I tell you who worked out a very good trip was Everett Song. You see the short coming in there, and you're forming your track program. Save ground inside, angle 5 wide, makes that run, drifts it in. As Outlier, who's down inside, was caught in a pretty good battle, Cal, from the half-mile home. Outlier, who's going to have the rail today, is going to use that speed to his advantage, try to take advantage of that. he's shown he can stay around. I'll just dismiss the race up at Aqueduct. But Everett Song, he's been good. I mean, 5 for 11. He knows how to win. He brings that steady, sustained kind of run. Just Magic Michael might give you just a little bit more price for Ness, and he definitely needed that and gave up a lot when caught wide every step of the way there pretty much after hopping at the break. So 6-4, 1-5, Armando R, kind of a laggard, sits well behind, needs a little help up front, as we kind of say time and time again. But again, fresh. His best puts him over the top against these. So we'll go 6-4, 1-5 in the fourth.
We'll see how the fourth goes there for Friday's card, and we will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card.
And they're off.
Welcome back to Tuesday's card. Oh, I'm sorry. Friday's? No, it's Thursday's card, Cal. That's
it's
all right.
Thursday.
You
Welcome
got it.
back to the second half of Thursday's card here today. I'm just, Keith, I'm just so happy about this weather right now. It's making me just a little silly.
Whatever you're sipping on over there, let me have some.
Nothing right now, but we'll see. We'll see what the rest of Thursday's card brings for me in the afternoon. We'll see. We'll see if I have any more silliness for you guys. But let's get back to race number 5 here. This mile and 16th, not on the dirt, but on the turf now for the girls 3 and up in this starter optional 12-5. Scratch the 8, 10, and 11. You have the number 1, the rail horse, Instinctive for Michael Moore. Charlie Marquez gets the call on this one. Decent effort last time out when teamed up.
Yeah, we'll go to the video right now because Instinctive, we're going to look at the race, that one, and social engagement. My top selection on October the 6th here. And Instinctive gets the cleaner of the trips, was able to kind of roll up 3 wide and keeps me right there in the red cap. You see social engagement have to steady as Instinctive went kind of right on by. But look at the heart of this horse, the 5 that day. Battles back, social engagement, now goes forth off the break. I tell you, this one getting a little extra ground. It's going to work. This one's fine. Might be put into the race a little bit sooner, too. It's shown the ability to be a little bit more tactical in its races. But Instinctive may be the one we can trust. 3 for 8 at Laurel. This barn has been very good with its turf runners. Another horse you've got to seriously consider is your top selection, the 13, Pounding Music. I'll let you talk about that one. Draws in off the AEs and gets Forrest Boyce.
Well, and I believe Forrest had another call in this race. So she, first of all, she opted to go with this one, which is your first green flag on this filly. Then you get to it's not so much, talking about the starter handicap, just a wide trip. This is a filly that likes to kind of, she kind of got a bit of a runaround trip in that effort last time out. 2 back when she got settled back. Then she kind of has one move. She likes making that one move around the elbow of the track, and that happened for her in that effort 2 back. So she's gonna get back into the right situation. I like this outside post for her. I'm not really too perturbed by it. So I think Forrest kind of picked that up. Clearly, she liked what she felt underneath her to come back. Even though, because you're gonna be seeing a couple of these horses come back quick, even though Pounding Music's not one of them. But enough that I think Forrest felt that she wants to take the ride again today.
When you go to the way back on her on some of her races, she used to be a little bit more forward. She used to be a little bit keyed up early sometimes and wanted to kind of get into the race a little bit sooner. But recently she's been able to handle some rating, and she works good off of cover too. As long as she can kind of draft up behind some horses and then work outward, maybe say the quarter pole or 5/16. You're right. She'll sustain that run. She's going to be tough back in here. She's got a little bit of speed just to her inside and upper sleeve, and also Esperana figures to be early in here. So still a race. From an exacta standpoint, I can't leave out a horse like Congress Hall at a big number. If I'm playing the exactas. Jenny Highway also works, and even Cupid Stream. There's not a lot separating this group. It's just a consistency factor that kind of puts me towards Instinctive.
Same sellers with me there in race number 5, Keith. As you go 1, 9, 13, 3 in race number 5. Race number 6, our jackpot race. Jackpot Super High 5 race is a maiden claiming 12-5, 5.5 on the dirt. For the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, no scratches. Let's key win back on that last time effort for Senator Kelly, for Brittany and Sheldon Russell.
Yeah, Senator Kelly off of another really long break. Just gets kind of annihilated at the break. You're going to see this. Drifts out, makes its own kind of trouble early, and then the 5 kind of rolls right on outside. That's Dowsing Rod, who veers out at the break, and that leaves, Senator Kelly a long way back, has a lot to do, but finishes up well. Now, Dowsing Rod, the four today, I think with a clear break is going to be put on the engine and just kind of packs it in there, just a light hand ride to the wire there, okay, a little bit of protected the final furlong. So that beaten margin's not as bad as it might look. So don't think this 4-horse with a clean break can take them a long way in here as well. But Senator Kelly off the jam job. Brittany Russell, when they get aggressive, they're tough. Sits back off of some flow and tries to run into it. I do like Dowsing Rod as well out of that same race. Spirit to Success, another one. Not a lot of early speed, but a little bit of a plummet here off since June. They want to get a win. This might be a pretty good shot here this afternoon in the 6th.
Mikey Jarrell is pretty consistent first after the layoff. Short but mighty stat from there, as he's 27% as a barn trend of first after the layoff. So that's the angle I go with. As you go 1-4-9-8 in race number 6, our jackpot race. Race number 7 is a restricted allowance, 1 1/8 on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 2 MTOs, Frightland, Shady Money. Let's talk about hard spun reason. Now, let's just not talk. Let's take a look at that win from last time out.
Well, this is a family. Even you go through, they've been good. It's been good. Either surface, talent found. Watch this though. The blinkers went on last time. That's the key move here for motion. Just drafts up under a hand ride to the 5/16, and look at this. You can see the comment there. Weighted quarter to the 3/16. Just stalled as the leader is clear. Still waiting, and finds this seam. You're like, I don't know if he's going to get up from here, but man, he levels off, finds a hole between horses, and really kind of, after he shifts out, responds to the right-handed stick work and grinds it down, goes past Curly, Larry, and Mo, right there at the wire, comes back, Curly and to win, and another key horse there in Certer. This horse, the way it finished up, 1 1/8, no real issue. My only concern is the little bit of a break there. Where's he been? That's the key. Just a little freshening here. But I can tell you, this barn can get them ready to go after a break.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not concerned. Yeah. That's going to be fine, presumably. But you also go with my boy Patty, Justin Rivera, Victor Carrasco gets the call, coming from the fine stake, coming from these other restricted allowance stakes. Now gets back to the long on the turf, just like last time.
Barn just hasn't won a lot, so you're hoping from a betting perspective slips through the cracks a little bit. This horse does have a little bit of ability, though. He's been proven. Only beaten a few lengths in the fine, as you mentioned. You want to go back a good run at Pimlico in a similar type of race, that state-bred, state-sired allowance going a distance of ground. There's not a slew of positional speed in here. I think Carrasco would be wise to get this horse kind of up into the thick of things by the time they hit the 5/8 pole and then make that run, that final quarter of a mile. But I think he works in here. Robin and I, we both like this horse this afternoon as part of the exacta.
And then you also go with great idea for Phil Capuano, J. Ron Barbosa. Your take on that, stretching this one back out to routing turf distances.
Yeah, may have been going best late at Delaware. Got into some trouble, got in a little bit of jackpot late. That's a 2-turn race. Ability to handle 2 turns. 1 1/8 might be stretching it just a bit. So it's going to be able to kind of, need that ground-saving trip as much as possible to enhance that run, the final quarter of a mile. But this one does work for me. Yeah.
10-3-4-9 for Keith Fusel in race number 7, and our last race here on Thursday's card is a maiden special weight 7 furlongs for the straight 2-year-olds. Scratch in the 5, Conniving Scratch in the 6, Rapid Punch. You and I both go with Regalo for Brittany and Sheldon Russell. Of course, just a decent effort last time out.
Both these runners, I think, were victim of a Silliman runner that got it done. Foolproof was against Coringa. Regalo, these two both ran hard every step of the way. Coringa might have even had the tougher of the trips when it was all said and done. He's a bigger kind of horse. Looks like he's going to enjoy the 7/8 of a mile. But Regalo, a little sharper to me overall. Some figures came back a little bit better. I think it was a little tougher race. a little bit of an edge to Regalo here in your nightcap.
And you also have the number 1 underneath your 4 and 3. And No Foolin' Mo on the rail for Hammy Smith and J-Ron. Cuts back in distance and makes another surface switch.
6.5 to Monim, a mile on the turf, and 7/8 at Laurel. All over the map here for No Foolin' Mo. But I thought ran very well on the dirt into the Lone Speed Catahoula Moon, who came back to win Maryland Million Day. Plenty of stamina build up off the mile. Yeah, this one will make a steady progression into it. Couple firsters to the outside. You can make cases. Mats, you're thinking mats, you're thinking turf a lot. How about this? On the dirt, the 2-year-old firsters on the dirt the last 3 years, he's 29%. 4 for 14 with an ROI of 333.
Wow.
And some win early here in this family on the outside with the 9, Sir Exton for Stidham. Lots of ways to go. High Tech Prince took a lot of play despite, 2 kind of okay races at Colonial. Went to the dirt in that big field for a barn that doesn't get a ton of play. This horse was just under 6 to 1. Had no chance after the break. That was it. So
rough.
Don't leave this one out from underneath, because I think that one works as a little bit of a price at a big number in your Exactus Tries and Supers.
So much to offer.
There is.
For
There's a
horses
lot here.
underneath, even if we didn't pick them.
I didn't even talk. Going back to the 7th race, and I'm thinking we were talking a mile and 8. There's really not a lot of. What about a horse like LaMarvelous? 30 to 1 morning line.
Yep.
He's shown some ability. He's had some adversity, definitely in some of his races, but he could pop to the front. He comes out of some fast races, some horses that were very quick up on the front end. This is a flow that could take him a while if he takes to the turf.
That field packs a lot to punch, but we're gonna leave it at this for now. Let's head on over to Lightning Round. Touch a little quickly on your best bet of the day. Number 10, Hard Spawn Reason. I'm not saying it's a sure thing,
no.
but that's the best we can do on this card today.
What have we been doing a lot of? A lot of just give you 2 values or 3 value plays throughout the card and try to hit some exacta. This is one. The blinkers went on, though, and he just was a much, much sharper horse, and I think that was the trigger right there for me to kind of, all right, let's lean here. The mile and 8, no issue for him, and the way he overcame that trouble, that put him kind of in that range of a best bet.
Sure, absolutely. Let's talk about the leaderboard and what's going on so far for this autumn meet. We have Jamie Ness kind of charging up ahead of Russell, but Brittany Russell has a strong entrance so far for today for this weekend. And then you have Trombetta and McGee tied underneath for Rudy Sanchez Salmon just fighting there underneath on position.
Yeah, obviously the numbers, you'll see it, with those guys up top, Jamie, Brittany. With Trombetta, look at him lurking now, a little chilly. All of a sudden, he's red hot, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way this game goes. I mean, ups and downs, ups and downs. It's tough for owners, trainers alike. But yeah, that's it. Jockeys.
And of course, jocks. We've got Toledo and Barbosa just vying for it together again. Jamie Rodriguez just sitting right behind at 12. Got a little work to do, and then Angel Cruz pops up for a little bit of interesting play here in the fall meet.
Yeah, this could get real good. No doubt about it, with Toledo getting some good mounts. So right there for Russell sometimes. Barbosa's always live as Rodriguez. So I would say those 3, but Cruz he's lurking. He's gonna the numbers. Can he get them to get past those top 3? I don't know.
Well, only one way to find out. But again, we did what we could with this card. We did the best of what we could to try and give you guys some value underneath. And we'll see what happens for the races today. But let's go to Dave Rodman for some more final changes and scratches.
All right, good luck, everybody.